I'm very pleased to welcome to the stage now, Orthors.
Look at that. Yeah.
Take it away. You've got the next 20 minutes to yourself.
Cool. Yeah, how's it going? I'm Yasin.
I've got sorry, it's quite long. Yeah. I'm Max.
I'm Taylor.
Yeah, and we're Orthors, London-based mobile game company. We started back in 2015. Actually, let me start off. I'm the producer and I do the lead marketing for the company as well.
I'm mainly everything visual, so UI design, UX, some animation, kind of let that go these days, and yeah, 3D modeling as well.
And I'm a dev and also graphic design background, so anywhere helping with design, pretty much utility people. We do everything we can do to help the company go at the moment.
Only three of us, so we're making the most of it. Yeah, so we started back in 2015. I knew Max from college. I met Taylor in college. Well, Taylor and Max know each other from way back. The love of brought us together, kind of. We kind of thought of, we like playing games, why don't we try to make some games? None of us have kind of any developing or any kind of background. Didn't go to uni or study it as well. Did it off our own backs. Well, you did animation.
It sounds like we didn't go to university. We went to university. Yeah. I studied animation at university, so as you can, it's kind of linked to gaming, but not really. It's, it doesn't help in development. But Taylor was graphic design at university, and Yasin's model making at university. So none of us have any experience in game development, and we just kind of forced our way into the industry. So here we are.
Our first game was Turnip. That was an interesting project.
Yes, yeah, I'll talk about that because I kind of led that one. Again, not having any experience in Unity or any development software, I was using state machines. There's a plugin called Playmaker which allows you to kind of use pre-made code, and I was just trying to make games. I was on YouTube trying to figure out how I can do it. Got there in the end, made one, went through the process of uploading it onto the App Store and Google Play. Again, YouTube, everyone's best friend. And that was about it, man. It was just kind of a way to, I think, just to experiment. And none of us had done it before, so it was just a way to say, like, we can do this. It was a horrible game, but it was just
Gave us the confidence. Thank you.
The
Move forward.
The
We needed it to happen. And then after that, we went on to making. I say. It was supposed to be a proper game, but again, it was like us testing out whether we can make it. So it was a game called dodgecross, and I didn't know how to program before that. So I learned C#, and it took about 2 years from knowing nothing to putting out the full game, which we all designed ourselves. And that was pretty amazing. And it just proved to us that we don't need to have a background in gaming to actually produce games. We can get the games out on our own, and from what Max had done, I kind of gained experience from that. So we took it to another level. So we didn't add in-app purchases in Turnip, but when it came to dodgecross, we added in in-app purchases. So we were able to start making a return from some of our games, which was really good. And then we went on to releasing it. We went on to releasing dodgecross, the second iteration, which was an update, because we wanted to see if we could actually get a bigger audience rather than just putting the game out now. We wanted to see if we could improve upon the audience. Bam, take it away, yes.
And I think it was interesting because the first iteration of dodgecross, we didn't, as Taylor said, we didn't know a lot of stuff. And then through the second one and through a bit of social networking, we met Dan Gray from Us Two Studios, Us Two Games. And he's actually been pretty safe. He's been a bit of our mentor for us, even till now, just kind of understanding how to build a game. There's a lot of things to it. Don't be scared by it. Obviously, you learn off of not knowing anything, and then through the journey, you learn more. And that's what happened with the second iteration. We learned how to do our branding deck on it, a press release. That press release went well because we got noticed by Apple, Facebook, managed to do a Facebook talk.
It was really just a good lesson in learning to market yourself, actually.
Yeah.
Because, for example, the first dodgecross we thought was a pretty decent game. But when we first put it out, we didn't pay attention to marketing. and it got like 300 to 400 downloads, and it just showed us it don't matter how good your game is, if you can't market it, no one's going to see anything you've got out there. So when you're starting to build your own gaming company, you've got to think of everything. Like, you can't just think, oh, I'm wicked at making games. Who's going to be there to promote it? There's got to be certain things put in place, but you only get that far by making mistakes. And that's what we've done. We've just built on the mistakes that we've made.
Mistakes are important, so don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to take them. Yeah, as you said, like, we started not know loads, and then just through trial and error, we kind of learned things. Tried this way, tried that way. I think the main thing that we learned, and we're still learning now, is like the importance of networking. As I said before, like, we managed to network through socials, and that got us with Dan Gray. And it's really important because you have people around you that actually have the skills that you have to build something. So I know a lot of people kind of always want to go into an established kind of company, which is great, but sometimes you can build something by yourself with the people that you have around you.
Yeah.
And if you're in uni right now, it's an amazing time because you've just got everybody around you.
Yeah. If I was back at uni right now, I'd be talking to everyone. I'd be just trying to make as many connections as possible, just in different departments as well, not just your course, more importantly, other courses.
Yeah.
Just creating a good network, essentially.
You were saying as well, like, your jobs as well come from networking.
Yeah. If we do go into talk about networking and how we've used it in the past, the first 2 jobs I got were basically just through knowing people or knowing someone who knew someone else somewhere. I think the guy before, sorry, I missed his name, was talking about not having the 3 years experience. But my first job was through someone who was a producer. It was my girlfriend's friend who was working as a producer at a company. And she just said, yo, you get 2 weeks as of now at the company. I was like, okay, cool, that would do for me. Yeah, they let me do 2 weeks there. I was just talking to people, trying to like nudge my way in, do you know what I mean? And just help wherever I can, do a little animation here, do a little thing there. And then they turned into 2 weeks as a animator and then a year's internship. So yeah, that's just one example of how, just knowing a person that might know someone and then just putting yourself out there. My second job was pretty much the same thing, just networking again. A friend of a friend. Even if you haven't got a friend of a friend, if you always have a friend of a friend. If you talk to enough people, you'll find out, oh, that person knows this person. Oh, that person, trust me, you will have someone.
And you'll think nothing relates. For example, I used to work at City AM, the newspaper, and you might be like, gaming, City AM, like, what's the newspaper got to do with gaming? But when it comes to marketing and we need to be put in newspapers, just remember, I know the CEO of the newspaper, and he knows the CEOs of the other newspapers. So there's lots of links to progressing in life, and don't think because like that person, I don't really know what they're doing, I'm never going to use that in my life. Photography, I'm never going to use that. And then 5 years later, you might think, like, if I kept in contact with him, what was his name again? All you need is to remember a name. Then you got LinkedIn, find them, bam, they're there. That's your connect. He'll remember you from uni.
I think there was also some comments about being nervous or afraid. The best thing you can do is just ask, because the worst thing they can say is no. So just ask, innit?
That's very true. The worst thing to say is no.
And if they say no, all right, cool, no worries. You know what I mean?
And you just keep it moving. But I think because obviously a lot of you guys are coming off from uni and want to get into the industry, and I guess our journey is a bit different because we started it from the ground zero. And that's the other things, like try projects, like even if it's like solo games like Turnip, just try and start something, because I know some people can be scared or worried and be like, this might not be the best, but at least you started, you can get the ball rolling. And once you get the ball rolling, you can be like, okay, cool, I missed out on this next time. My next project, I'll put this in, like us with the in-app purchases. And then from there, you build and then build and build.
I think another good point to make is sometimes if you do keep trying one thing and that you're focused on that one thing and then it doesn't work out, don't be afraid to just try something else and see if this works over there. So for example, our first game, Turnip, we were looking for developers to help us work on that project. And I think we were networking, we were asking around, trying to find anyone, a developer that could help. We went through about 7 or 8 developers that all said they would help. And then obviously I can imagine at uni, you don't have a lot of money, so you can't pay these developers. It's kind of more of just I do you a favor, you do me a favor kind of development. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it doesn't really, thank you very much for that. Yeah. So it's hard to get people to sometimes help you on these things. And well, we just decided to learn ourselves, isn't it? Like Taylor said, it took 2 years for you to
C#
learn C#, and I was just Googling again, good old Google, good old YouTube. I'm not a developer, how can I learn to? And that took me to Playmaker. So yeah, if things don't go your way, don't be afraid to try other things as well.
Also, I would say is explore. Like, you guys are kind of fresh into the industry, so it's probably your best time to kind of explore what you want to go down. We've done that as well. I guess we've come into the gaming industry from like a design background, so we've come through the back door, so to say. But then that's opened our eyes up to other things that we've seen in the gaming industry that we kind of want to put in and enforce, because you might like something and think like, oh, this might not work. But then if you try it out, you'll be like, oh, no one's done this before. And then someone will see it and be like, that is sick. How's no one clocked that? That's really cool. And I think that's what we've done. We've realized that we can put kind of narratives that we like based around like London, so to say, things that we like to do, things that we see, some things that we've been around. And we kind of putting that through our company as well. So in terms of like our social marketing, we put that out there. People sometimes like you before they like the product. That's something that's really important as well. Like sometimes, and we've done it before, I've done it before in my day job, you can be blagging about something, but then they invest in you and they like you and they like your personality. That can take you really far. It's true. So if you get someone to believe in your work, or believe in you, they'll go further. And you can go well.
Yeah, and you don't have to be a confident person for that. It's just kind of being genuine, nice.
Yeah.
Kind of be just likable.
Down to earth. And also, don't be afraid to be. Is it the elephant in the room or the alien in the room?
I don't know, but you're pointing at the camera.
Yeah, sorry.
And if you know what, if you are afraid to be the elephant in the room, then there's ways about going around that. For example, like, I'm not the most confident person, but my personality can be put out there because we've seen a gap in the market where people behind the scenes isn't kind of looking at gaming. So we've took up on ourselves to now put forward how we built the company, and that's displayed on our YouTube series called By Orthors, which you can check out now. Go and look at that in the link. But it allows us to flourish. You get to see who I am as an individual, and again, that even might help with networking, because other people might see that and they might be like, oh, that's wicked. Taylor's like this. I want to know what you go to an event now. Someone's seen what we've done. Oh, like we like what you've been doing with By Orthors. Rare. And it just shows that you can go up to someone and speak to them directly, but there's also other things which you can put in the pipeline, which also add to you being able to network properly, just like us using Twitter.
Twitter's our best friend. Twitter is our best friend.
We met the Black Girl Gamers. Don't know if anyone's heard of them. Black Girl Gamers, Nate Saga, they're really doing bits for like the Black gaming community at the moment. And all we done was on Twitter, we saw an event and we thought, there's 3 of us. We're a crowd ourselves. Let's just go down there and be ourselves. They liked us. We spoke.
It was sick.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah, man.
I was saying as well, like, and it's funny now thinking about it. It's time. Like, I think nowadays people get rushed. Like, time is something that you want something quickly. Like, you want things instantly. Like, this is 5 years and we've got to now. Do you know what I mean? And in between those 5 years, there's been a lot of ups and downs. Like, they're still working. Well, these two are not. They're gone freelance, which is sick. But still been working through our day jobs. And then Orthors was a side project for like, good like 5-6 years. And now we're slowly transitioning over to where it could be full time. So I know a lot of people kind of get pressured to be like, oh, I haven't got this done. Like, now it might be a trend, or you might feel like you're getting left behind. However, like, don't feel pressure to kind of jump into that lane. Like, just do it at your pace, like, learn at your time. Even if it's like an hour every day, like after uni or in the evening, that's way better than trying to like cram it in like sometimes like 6 days in like 6 hours in one day, because you probably get tired and disheartened from it. So that will build up like an hour. That's what we did. Like, that's what we do on Monday meetings.
That's good.
So,
that's a good point. Consistency. Just consistency.
If I had worked 2 hours a day from uni type shit, how clever I was. You know, like, how much I wish I could go back and be like, let me just work them 2 hours. Them 2 hours would change the game. Well, obviously you can't go back, so you know, just doing an extra time now.
Are we supposed to be in question?
No, that's for later.
Oh, okay, cool.
They ask us that after we stop talking. Getting nosy.
Sorry.
So yeah, this is us. I think what's nice about us is we want other people to look at us and they can be like, oh, do you know what? We can do it ourselves. As I was saying before, it's amazing to work at a big established gaming studio, but also to have your own projects of your own, to know that you can put something on the App Store or whether it's Steam or any other platform and just be like, oh, do you know what? I did that myself. Like, I put that up there. I went through the ups and downs. Yeah. And if you got some money, it'd be great because that's all yours. You don't have to worry about it.
There's no reason you can't do both.
Exactly.
Like, go and work at a big company and then have your own projects. You'll learn so much. You would learn so much faster than we did. Oh my gosh. We're just random industries, web design and City AM and whatnot. Yeah. If you were in the game, if I was in a gaming studio every day just learning and picking up things from people and just how a company works, and
yeah, to be fair, that's
our path wouldn't be so rocky. But we're still here. It's good.
I think, is there any I think that's it. Anything else? Any questions?
I think we talked too quickly. That's the thing.
Did we talk too quick?
Yeah, we should slow it down for 15 minutes.
Oh yes, we're getting help.
Yeah. I like that.
Oh, I'm too big now. I'm cutting off you from the screen. Let's make you big. I'll be small. So, thank you very much for that. A massive insight into your kind of unconventional journey. I know a lot of people think that getting into games is go to uni, do a game design degree, work in a supermarket for a year, and maybe get into a game studio somewhere later down the line. It's a very inspirational approach that you've taken as well. And there's a lot of questions around that.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, so let's have a look. So Robin asks, what's the hardest lesson you've had to learn through your time as game devs? Is there anything that you wish you knew earlier, like before you started going into it?
One will kind of be like planning. Planning, and I'm pretty sure one of the other speakers said it, planning the organization's really hard, but then sometimes you can't plan for certain things. So it's one of those sayings that you just kind of, you got a plan, but you got a plan to not fail. What's that saying?
Do you know what? I think it's
plan to not fail. Go on,
when you have contingency plans, you got to be ready to be let down. I think that's one of the biggest things that it's going to be hard. There's going to be a hurdle. It's like if you're into games, it's like being a game dev. Like after you cross one problem, there's going to be another problem. Like you have to overcome the next problem, and it's just being okay with that when it comes to like starting your studio up from the beginning. It's just what I think you said. What have you?
What's the hardest lesson? Hardest lesson.
I think so.
Oh no, the hardest. Another one is delegating as well. So that's kind of one thing that we struggled from the beginning. We tried to do everything all at once. Like we were all trying to do game. We was all trying to do this, all trying to do that, and then we would just like not getting on top of each other, but we'll leave certain things, and then we'll just like, no, we need to split things. So we split out. So then that's why these two kind of went more onto like the developing side. I went more into like the marketing, socials, brand strategy. I like to talk. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the talking helps. Like a takeover with these two. Yeah. So that's another thing that was kind of hard, but we worked through it, and it's helped now. It helped.
Matt asks, what made you go into mobile games versus going on to console PC? Do you think it's an easier medium to start out on for beginner game devs?
Oh,
yeah, I think so. I think
from coming from no background in gaming, there's no way we're going to go into console games straight away.
Google Play made that pretty easy. It's quite easy to go through Google Play and just upload something and then see it working. I think that early process and progression, seeing it gets you more excited. You're like, oh my gosh, it's on the phone. Oh my gosh, I can download it on the store. And then you can deal with Apple after that, which is like a little bit more difficult, a little bit trickier. And then he's laughing because he knows Apple is. God, I don't want to say that hard work. Apple hard work. Yeah. So definitely.
Hannah says, seeing as you didn't do game dev in uni, where would you say that you gained the most game dev knowledge from?
do you know what? Anything like if you wanna get information on it, you'll search it. YouTube, forums, talking to people, just to keep searching that. And it relates to doing kind of work, being a game dev. It's like if you can't find the answer for something, you can't do it. So you just keep searching. You've got to find the answer. Yeah, be persistent in.
And it's out there as well. The internet's huge. It'll be on YouTube. It just will be. The answer just will be out there. Especially at the level that you're coding. If you're like quite early on, then the answer is definitely out there. And you know, you're trying to get to the moon or something. But I'm sure you can find that on the internet.
Someone has the answer. So
yeah, it's there.
Just keep trying to find it.
We were online. Just how can I move a ball? How can I jump in Unity? How do I
remember when it got further on, it was like there was no one to ask it, and I was like, should I just sign up to this Unity forum? And then I was like, I started asking the actual guy, and I was like, this needs to happen. Like, how does this work? And then I remember he messed something up in my project. Imagine the Unity person messed something up. And then I was just like, and then he wouldn't fix it. He like couldn't get back to me.
Well, the forums are good though. People really do get back to you in the forums, so forums as well.
But yeah, about this, there's help out there. Obviously, he didn't help me, but I found someone else. And there we go.
Someone helps you, there you go.
Really broad one. Mia asks, what's the best way to start a game idea? What inspires you?
Oh, okay. Well, I think the key is there. Like,
you go first.
What inspires you, Yasin?
Working off the games that you like first. So I mean, working off the games that you like to play first. So if you like to play puzzle games, find out like the puzzle games that you like to play, and then why. Like, is it the mechanics? Is it kind of like certain attention to details? Is it the artwork? And then from there, you can be like, okay, let's say it's the mechanics and it's something very simple that's repetitive throughout the game. You can find that mechanic and then be like, okay, this is the mechanic I'm going to work off, and I'm going to use that to build my game in a different manner. Do you know what I mean? So you can maybe put a spin in it, of a pivot. And I think that's sometimes like how we build our games as well. We just be like, okay, cool. We like playing stealth games, or we like playing like puzzle games. So how can we incorporate that into our game but put our own little spin on it? So you can do the same. I
usually work backwards. I kind of go onto Pinterest and go through artwork, and it could be anything. It could be like a really abstract piece of art, and see like, is there some kind of game here? That's pretty much what our first game, Turnip, was. It's like 4 circles, and then one of the circles was, no, it's 4 semicircles, I think. One slightly tilted outwards. And I was like, okay, cool. Is there some kind of game where you have to match the circles so that it makes a shape or whatever, and then that's what the game is. You just tap the circles and then they rotate. Like, okay. So it came from, again, it's a game, yeah. So it came from a piece of artwork.
And for me, it's lots of different things. It's weird, and for like our latest game, it's been proven that I can take the Max route, I can take the Yasin route, but it's also just watching videos or just seeing something on TV and you're just like, oh wait, like I kind of like the look of that. Or like me and Max were watching, is it the Game Maker's Toolkit? Mm-hmm. And they were just talking about I think it was, I forgot what they were talking about, but they showed is it Go Ape or something, and it was the ape just slamming stuff in.
Yeah, the route was to take the fun route. So to prototype and find the route that's fun. As long as it's fun to play, then don't be flexible with your idea. And if you make a prototype and it's fun, then go down that way, because that's what we want to do as gamers, play fun games. So
there we go. Yeah. So just, learning
many routes, basically. There's many routes.
We got a range here. What's the best way to increase a fan base for crowdfunding, or I guess just a fan base in general? How have you done it?
I think for us has been like we stuck out a bit like a sore thumb. Look at this guy and a bucket hat, jeans and a puffer jacket, even though it's like 23 degrees out there. But yeah, no, it's just being you. Like as I said before, like you can sometimes being hard being in the space and you feeling like, no one's gonna like me, but just believe in yourself and there'll be someone out there that likes you.
No, that's bad advice, man.
What do you mean?
That works for us because we're black.
No, that was amazing, bro.
But say B and M's not working. What's the marketing advice?
No, but people over time will
what's the marketing advice?
No, but
what's the thing we did the other day? the thing that we were being interviewed, we were talking to investors and all that. What's it called?
The brand index.
Yeah. No. Okay, the brand index one way.
See, these are messing it up.
No, go on.
Be yourself, guys. Be yourself. It's amazing, all right? Trust me, it is amazing, and people out there will like you, and will go further than you think.
But also definitely market. Pay attention to marketing. See what other people are doing. See other industries that you like. If you like people, go.
Checkmate. Being yourself only works if you're marketed well. We marketed ourselves well. Therefore, being ourselves worked because the marketing behind us being ourselves.
They like our brand.
So why did you say that before?
Because of I couldn't get that.
See?
But yeah,
tag team.
You got there. You got there.
We marketed that story really. So
I know that you guys do like a load of other stuff as well in general. Do you feel that that's helped you out as well? Because it's not just about the game itself. You've also got a load of stuff going on around it.
Coming from creative backgrounds has kind of allowed us to market ourselves, because Max has come from animation and then he's gone into UI and UX design. I've come from graphic design, but I'm going into software development. Yasin,
you're doing a lot of video editing as well.
Not exactly. Yasin,
Architectural model maker. I'm an architectural model maker by day, so it's a bit.
But then you can tailor.
Oh yeah, I can do a bit of tailoring as well. So that's
where
where
that skill came from.
So there's lots of ways for us to still be creative, and we've got authors to be creative with. So now it's just like everything that we might have been applying for a job to be like, I want to be a graphic designer. All those skills just get brought into Authors. Max, UX, UI, animation, Authors. Yasin, whatever, textiles, Authors. Or tailoring, I should say tailoring.
You still owe me money for that t-shirt.
This probably relates back to one of your earlier answers, but what do you consider your favourite part of creating games?
Being with my boys.
For me, it's just UI. I like it's just the design part. I don't really like the animation part that much. I've kind of fallen off animation, considering it was my degree. Yeah, I have one. I don't like it that much, but I do it because we need it. So, but UI for me, I think you're the idea man. You like coming up with ideas.
I think. No, do you know what though? I feel like I'm gonna like marketing this time round.
Yeah, I think you're gonna like marketing.
It's gonna be designing and stuff,
and just boasting about what we're doing. That's what it is. It's like, we're doing this, I'm doing that. Show everyone, shove it in everyone's face. Market. I can see that.
Yeah. No, I think that's it. It's been good.
Paul asks, what would be the most important thing to focus on in the beginning? So right at the start, looking back at everything you've done so far, is there anything that you would say, this is the thing we should focus on first?
Just start.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's not really anything. It's all so important. So
as soon as you start, you'll start seeing the problems and you'll fix them. If you don't start and you think.
Just start. Yeah, because they're all so important. So I could say many reasons why you could start with design. I could say many reasons why you idea or coding, but just start prototype. Just start prototyping.
If we kept looking for programmers, we would have never started. And as soon as we started, that's when all started rolling.
Yeah.
And interesting though, you used to buy free games of Unity store and play around with it.
Yeah, just play around.
And that's the way to start. Like if you can find free games out there, just dive into them.
Unity templates from the Unity store.
Yeah,
they're pretty cool to look at. Yeah, they're good.
Paul says, I was curious if you have any advice for the people trying to make their own indie studio. What would be, I think you've covered quite a lot of this already, but what would the biggest challenges of launching your own game be?
I think a good team. A good team around you, good people, ones you can trust. Yeah, okay, put it this way, there was actually 4 of us when we started this, because we did have a very close friend of us that we went to school with, but he wasn't pulling his weight and it got really hard and it's difficult, and then you have to say the honest truth to him, you know what I mean? Like you can't do this with us anymore, basically, you know? So that's the hard thing, definitely, just finding a good team and everyone's pulling their weight and everyone's working. Yeah.
I think you said it as well, like finding people that you can be honest about. Like there's times, like even though we sound all alley-pally and amazing. Sometimes, you know what I mean, it's downhill and you got to be like truthful. And sometimes the truth hurts, but if you can be around people that you can tell the truth and they can take it on the chin and be like, they see why you're saying that, and they can see obviously you're trying to better something or get somewhere better. That's kind of the team that you want to be around.
Yeah. Also, we know each other very well, so if someone's taking a dip in their work, they're not working so much, then I know it's more than just laziness. It's like, oh, maybe there's something else going on. So you just talk to them and whatnot. But yeah, no, a good team, a good strong team, very useful.
What
very
else
important.
can you do from starting? Like, yeah, it kind of, I think, look at yourself and like figure out what you do. So like, if you're good at coding, just be like, okay, maybe I need to make friends with someone that's animation or design, and then go off that route. If you're good at designing, you want to get into games, find somebody who does coding. So again, don't want to say again, but it goes back to networking. Like, networking is probably a really good way to start off from the beginning, because if you try to take it on by yourself, it will be hella crazy, hella stressful, and just really tough. You can get that one person to help you with that one other thing. It's a big help. So when you're starting, and being open to get help as well is very important as well. Like, I know you can be amazing at something, and if you have your own project, like your own baby, sometimes you don't want to give off to somebody else, but you can give off to somebody else and they can see something that you haven't seen yet and be like, oh, this, constructive criticism.
I think on a related note, how did it feel when like Dan Gray and us two actually took an interest?
Hey,
Hold on. Let me tell the story. I'm just on Twitter. It was me first. I'm just on Twitter, right? And obviously, we know Monument Valley. We're thinking, we saw Monument Valley, and that was our first thing, which was like, oh, look, they've turned art into a game. Maybe we can do this. So that was kind of inspiration. And then just so randomly, Dan Gray messaged us. I didn't know who it was. And I looked on his profile, and it said Chief Design Exec or something for us two. And I was like, hold on. So I clicked on the link, and it took me to the us two website. And I was like, maybe it's wrong. Let me try it. And then I kept researching. I was like, that's him. Yeah. He said, come to the studio.
You see him holding a BAFTA on Google Images. You're like,
that's really him. But we don't have a game. Like, did he make a mistake? And then he was just like, oh yeah, come to the studio. And then that was cool.
We managed to do a talk at their studios as well, funny enough. It's pretty cool. About
similar to this.
Yeah,
about just starting. Yeah,
That's crazy.
Just diving in, man. Just go for it.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, it was really good and really helpful and inspiring meeting them and being able to go to that studio, which is a game studio, and then kind of see what it's like and be like, oh my gosh, like this is what we want. We want grass on the floor inside.
Yeah, I want AstroTurf in my studio.
They've got a cow in there.
Yeah, all kinds of things going on. It's great. It's great.
It's cool. But yeah, that was it.
So we got a few kind of tech questions as well. What software do you tend to use? What technology did you use to create your game? And what was the other one? What kind of workflow do you have? So what's your process from sort of start? How do you start? How do you get to the next day?
I'll do the first, but you can talk about the workflow because it is so messy sometimes. But devices, we started off on our university laptops, to be fair. Those ones that you get, at uni with a bit of extra cash. So we got started off with those MacBook Pros, and software design is mainly Illustrator, occasionally Photoshop, but that's usually more for marketing. So mainly Illustrator and Unity, all for software. And obviously I used to plug in Playmaker with state machines, about £30 or so on Unity. That's about it. After Effects, Adobe Suite. Yeah, if you want to do little animations, mainly marketing again. I use Maya, I do. Now they've got Maya Lite, which is so much cheaper and it's actually somewhat affordable now. Unlike the $2,000 a year it was before, which no one was ever paying for. I don't know how to do that. So Maya Lite will give you everything you need for 3D stuff. And I think people use other software like Blender and stuff like that anyway, but free software. But yeah, that's software really.
And workflow. Oh,
We've still been experimenting
Still
a
learning.
little bit.
Still learning a bit.
it's hard because we've only just started working kind of full time on it. But even working full time on Orthors, but we're still freelancing at the same time. So it's that I might have a certain workflow, and then work will come in and be like, okay, cool, I've got to scrap this workflow right now because I need to make money. So then it's kind of just being malleable.
Okay, but it's the one that we're using at the moment. Trello. So no, I mean, yeah, we use Trello to kind of keep track of everything. But I'd say start off with ideas. We're spitballing ideas at the moment.
Yeah.
And then from them, we'll just go into prototyping.
First prototype.
Just go into prototyping. Again, the kind of fun theory, see what's fun out of anything we make and mechanics we work and feel good season.
After we get out the first prototype, we're looking for investment. So we're doing our pitch deck currently. So then, after the first prototype, we'll then look for investment. If we get that, hopefully, we'll then move on to the next stage, which we haven't, it will be kind of, production kind of, but we've never reached. This is the first game where we're all working completely together. So I think the next stage is production, but it's literally
it's still kind of pre-production of completing let's say a level. So then it's like you've got everything, all the mechanics, all the kind of little pieces you'll need, and then once you've got a level and say this is what we're going to do, then you can go into production, which is like copy and pasting, like moving things around and just and then we'll probably do UI last because making it look pretty and whatnot.
That's pretty much our work, isn't it?
That's pretty much our work.
Yeah.
That's our workflow.
We'll let you know how it goes.
That's our workflow for now. If we're not cutting it, we're going to have to pick up the pace.
I think it's just taken step by step, really. I think we've got.
It's cool. Everyone's got the blueprint now.
Yeah, exactly. You can message us on Twitter as well. Feel free to shout us on Twitter. And if you've got any answers, we'll definitely get back to you.
Yeah. Currently still writing our blueprint.
Wrap it up on last question about networking. You said you were open to using developers to work on one-off projects in the past. Given everything's remote now, do you have any advice for people who are trying to get a foot in the door on, I guess, being remote developers and trying to get themselves noticed for doing projects?
How do we get ourselves noticed? You kind of got to. Whoa. That's a tough question.
I mean, it does.
It is tough, sorry.
It's tough in general, though.
Yeah.
And without sounding a bit like I'm trying to get out of it, it's kind of like just persistent. Yeah, being consistent. Just sometimes actually keep putting yourself out there because hopefully someone will see you eventually. But I mean,
join up to, as there is the disc. I know we can't go out and network properly now, but join up to as many Discords that you can. There's most probably clubhouse rooms that you can join. If you go Facebook, if you go searching, or if you're on Twitter and you find a sort of group of people that you like and you're listening to them, try and find out what groups they're in, because you'll most probably be able to learn way more stuff from them. And then keep if you're finding it's hard doing what you're doing, don't keep it the same. Try and find something else.
Instead of us looking for people that are like right at the top, we kind of find people that are like just a little bit further ahead of us that we can still talk to, and then they give us like a little insight into get to the next bit, and then we talk to people from there, and then kind of just
baby steps.
They kind of talk to people and keep moving up and getting into different rooms and get invited to launch parties at us too.
Yeah, I think also don't be scared to email people as well. Emailing people goes a long way. Like if you want to get seen, sometimes you need to kind of show yourself, you know what I mean? And obviously you can't do it physically. So just email them and be like, work experience, or I want to be a runner, like Max was saying, that I want to be running for like 2 weeks or something like that. Then they might be like, oh yeah, do you know what? You can come through. And then that's your foot in the door that way, do you know what I mean?
And it's literally the foot in the door. As soon as you're in, then you've like started, you're there.
What's the stat? You send 100 emails and you might get like 10 yeses or something like that. I don't know. But it's something along those lines. So that's probably one way to getting a foot in the door. Do you know what I mean? With opportunities if you're starting off.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. Hugely entertaining and really, really insightful as well. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there anything that you want to plug? Is there any way that people can get in touch with you if they need one?
Yeah, on our socials, Instagram, Orthors Official.
In there.
On our Twitter as well, Orthors Official.
On YouTube, our Authors. Go and check out our By Authors series.
Yeah.
On episodes 5 or 6 at the moment, which is pretty cool.
My head is
Comment on there. Yasin is the best. You know what I'm saying?
My head is so
All
big.
my fans out there.
Are we Authors Official on YouTube as well?
Nah,
No, just Authors.
come on. LinkedIn as well. But yeah, everybody just message us. I'm happy to say hello and help where we can. Thank you. I see some people following already. Hey, the followers.
Yeah, come
Everybody
on.
that's tuned in. Thank you. Have a nice evening. Look after yourself. Stay safe. Stay well.
Enjoy this sunny weather.
Enjoy the sun before it closes.
Crops are going forward now.
Yeah, man.
Excellent. Thank you very much. It's been great having you here.
Yeah, man. Cheers.
See you later, guys.
Cheers.
Peace out. All right, bye, everybody.